Why I chosen this topic, the kidney care 360 degree. Believe me, in the core of my heart, when I'm treating a patient, we face a lot of challenges. We face tremendous amount of challenges. সবাই ইংরেজি বুঝতে পারছে তো, আমি তাহলে বাংলাতেও কিছু ভেঙে ভেঙে বলছি। বেসিক্যালি যখন আমরা একটা কিডনি রোগীর চিকিৎসা করি, তখন নানান রকম সমস্যার সম্মুখীন হতে হয়, মাল্টিপল চ্যালেঞ্জেস। Now, it is not simply giving medicine which ultimately takes care of well-being of the patient. শুধু ওষুধ দিয়ে কিন্তু হয় না। Yes, medicine is the most important intervention. Surgery is the most important intervention. We are there for doing that. But there are something more which is missing. In this talk, maybe another 45 minutes to 1 hour, I'll reveal some interesting information, some interesting research ideas, which right now the whole over the world is doing, and I want to open some of the interesting areas here. So, understanding the concept is my first, where I should spend some time. Then obviously the early importance of the early screening and the diagnosis, why it is needed. Then the steps to prevention, how we can protect a progression of the kidney disease, কি করে কিডনির অসুখের প্রোগ্রেশনকে আমরা অ্যারেস্ট করতে পারি। Obviously nutrition and lifestyle, that has a tremendous role in maintaining a good renal health or prevention for the kidney disease, which is really missing. Beyond medicine, what we can do? Is simply medicine works, or is there anything which we can do? I'll do a lot of ideas regarding that. Those who are on renal failure, already on dialysis, how we can optimize renal replacement therapy. Renal replacement means cadaver organ donation and transplant vis-a-vis dialysis, and obviously the peritoneal and hemodialysis, how we can optimize that. And obviously most interesting area where I'm working, that is artificial intelligence and the better patient support system. And how? Because human has a limitation to work. When computer was not there, we need to spend hours of time in writing. Today, by computer, we can send in a fraction of a second 1,000 patients a mail. So why not we can reach to more patients to solve their problem with the help of artificial intelligence? I'll show you some of the work which we are doing. This is the main area. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a kidney. Very interesting organ. Very small, hardly 150 to 170 grams. But if you go in its activity, what it does, it's marvelous. We have an idea that kidney only excretes the waste products from the body. Yes, that is its primary action, but it has a lot of other actions too, starting from maintaining the sleep quality, maintaining the blood pressure, maintaining the acid-base balance in the body, also the vitamin D control. Though research are opening up new areas, today we know our cognitive behavior has a significant role on the kidney function. Patients who are suffering from renal failure, they often become very irritable, become depressed. It is not because only finance, only the challenges for the kidney disease. Even there are a lot of unknown toxin which does not allow to brain function normally. It does not allow to be happy. If the kidney is unhealthy, if somebody loses their happiness because the secretion on the brain, serotonin, dopamine, that level get disturbed. So there are marvelous researches going on from the mainstream functionality what we have understood from the kidney, but it has a tremendous new areas of the action, new areas of the function which is revealing up. Kidney is one important organ to maintain the heart function. Believe me, today we consider the heart and kidney as a single organ. We call it cardiorenal syndrome. If somebody has a heart problem, it lands in the kidney disease simultaneously, and kidney problem also leads to the heart disease. So it has a significant connection. Better understanding of anatomy, physiology, development of the science, development of imaging, everything has given us a tremendous confidence what I do physically on a human body. Right now, we can operate by a robot. A robotic hands can go deep in the abdomen, do a 360-degree rotation, and do a lot of things. Understanding of physiology and the marvelous medicine what we have developed has taken care of control of multiple diseases. We can treat a lot of disease which until maybe 1 decade ago was thought to be incurable, but today we can treat them. But we need to understand, whatever precision has happened in the field of medicine, it is always breaking the care in a small fragment. I'm a nephrologist, I look only the kidney. I'm a cardiologist, I look only the heart. I'm a neurologist, I not think about anything other than brain functions, anything other than peripheral neuropathy. So this way we have been fragmented the health care in multiple small subsets which may be needed because our knowledge and the precision has gone up. So we need to have a very precise and very, indicative about what we are delivering to the patient. But the whole body, it has a tremendous interconnection. Every organ, every cell, every tissues of our body talks to each other. A disease of the kidney never ever remains limited only on the kidney. More and more as we are working and doing research, managing patients, we are coming to the conclusion that the disease of the kidney ultimately may be starting with the kidney or its effect goes beyond it. Other way around, a disease which has started with the blood sugar hypertension ultimately lands in the kidney. So there is a tremendous interlink between the disease. So henceforth, we need a balance between the precision medicine and the holistic medicine. When medicine was not so much advanced, a single doctor used to take care of everything. He had a balanced knowledge of cardiology, nephrology, everything. But today, কোমরে ব্যথা হচ্ছে অর্থোপেডিক্সের কাছে যান, মাথায় একটু চুলকোচ্ছে ডার্মাটোলজিস্টের কাছে যান. Yes, this is needed for the precision care, but not at the cost of sacrificing the holistic approach to the care. This is the main area and intention of my talk. Ladies and gentlemen, please try to understand. In the arena of precision medicine, we cannot ignore holistic concept of the healthcare. Human body is not simply a computer. It is the most sophisticated machine in this earth. It has a mind. Every organ has its own intelligence. Moreover, we all know who belongs to this country, who belongs to or acquainted with the Indian philosophy, that we know that body and mind is not enough. There is another thing we call as a spirit, it's an energy. It's a slightly abstract thing, we cannot define it by any specific definition. You cannot see a spirit, you cannot see your energy, you cannot see how somebody should work, what is the energy, how your mind is working, what is lying behind your mind, what is lying behind your body. That is exactly not measurable by any instrument. Henceforth, it has no definition. Hence, it is abstract. Because this world is limited to the whatever I see, whatever I can hear, whatever I can touch by the 5 sense organs. But beyond that, whatever is existing, that presence is well perceivable, but we cannot define. So there is a very close interaction between the mind, body, and on top of that, there are a lot of factors for social factors, socioeconomic factors. All these altogether give rise to the well-being. So as a doctor, when I'm treating a patient, I need to take care of every issues with precision knowledge, which otherwise means the holistic concept. Here is the basic concept. So when you are thinking for a well-being, it is a multidimensional. With medication, you can bring the creatinine down. With medication, you can bring the blood sugar down. With medication, you can bring the blood pressure down. But that does not mean you will reach to the well-being. So well-being has some intervening steps in between. Yes, this is a hard-hand physical target we need to reach. But along with that, we need a mind, we need a balanced spirit, and we need to balance all this thing. So why the problem of kidney disease was so evident? Today we know this India, this country, we have 22.5 crore kidney disease patients. This is the reported statistics. We don't have statistics from the rural areas. We don't know exactly. It is believed for one single patient who has been diagnosed for a kidney disease, there are 20 undiagnosed kidney patients are living there. So if it is 22 crore, you have to understand what could be the number. It's a huge number we can't imagine. So we need to diagnose the disease very early. Why? Because at the early stage, the disease had no symptom. Believe me, I have seen the majority of the patient who are lands in end-stage renal disease, যাদের ডায়ালিসিস দরকার, যারা end-stage renal disease পৌঁছে যাচ্ছে, এই সংখ্যাটা আমাদের দেশে প্রায় 1.82 lakhs per year. 1.82 lakhs. Last month there is one publication in the Kidney International where Professor Vivek Jha wrote the review article. He wrote it possibly it is 2 lakhs per year, the new patient adding in the total armamentarium or total burden of the kidney disease. So roughly there are 22.1 crore kidney patients. The challenge is early stage, no symptom, or the symptom which is present are so trivial, we always ignore that. একটু শরীরটা উইক লাগছে, একটু পাটা বিকেলের দিকে ফুলে যাচ্ছে, রাতে ঘুম ভালো হচ্ছে না, আজকাল যেন একটু বেশি বেশি ভুলে যাচ্ছি. This could be the trivial symptoms, slightly loss of memory, slightly fatigability, and ankle edema in the evening. We often ignore that. Not only that, we had a common notion that the kidney disease otherwise means urea and creatinine should be high. So we have a notion, possibly urea and creatinine could be the only, if it is normal, our kidneys are healthy. I beg to deny. It is not. Urea, creatinine rises in a very, very later stage. It does not rise in the early malfunction of the kidney disease. So you have to be careful about that. And blood creatinine, again, the same notion, it does not increase in the early stage. So what is the current existing model? Believe me, I have analyzed my whole data, near about 10,000 patient data, and I have tried to analyze what is the baseline creatinine average a patient report to our clinic. The baseline creatinine by which a patient comes to nephrologist is 4.8, or the GFR is less than 20, already stage 5. This is really very shocking. Why this is? Because lack of awareness not in the society, even the medical professionals. I'm giving you one statistic, you will be surprised to know, till last 2 years, except SSKM Hospital in West Bengal, none of the medical college has a DM nephrology courses and curriculum. So if you do not have a nephrology curriculum, how do you know the nitty-gritty and the integrity of the nephrology diseases to diagnose that in the early stage and how to take care of that? So this is a basic problem. So this country need at least 2 to 5 lakhs nephrologists per year. Unfortunately, the National Nephrological Society states that we are only 1,400 odd nephrologists in this country. So you can understand what is the load we are bearing for. So we need to change this model. We need to change it. We need to diagnose the kidney disease very early. But how? What are the means? What are the recent understanding? I will explain this here. So early screening and diagnosis is the most important part. I have already said that symptom, do not rely on the symptom. Believe me, symptom, you are getting the symptom, you cannot align a symptom for the kidney disease. I get a lot of patients asymptomatic creatinine 8. They do not have any symptom, no GI symptom. They have no vomiting, nothing. We know that kidney disease patients have a high blood pressure, they have a vomiting, they have a swelling of the blood. These are, once the symptom sets in, the ball is out of your hand. The ball is out of court. You cannot do anything. At that time, only option is either dialysis, transplant, promotion for the cadaver transplant, whatever. These are all painful. So we cannot rely on symptom. Please, if you can carry this message from this hall, that whether your kidney is healthy or not, until and unless we do some precision investigation, until we do some precision testing, we cannot tell you that your kidneys are absolutely healthy. What are those? Yes, there are few tests which are readily available by which we can identify kidney at least not better than the urea and creatinine. For a long time, maybe those who have attended this type of seminars, workshop, I always tell everybody, please do not rely on creatinine only. Check your eGFR, that is estimated glomerular filtration rate. eGFR can be calculated by some formula. Right now, all the Android device, there are a lot of apps are available where you can put your age, put your creatinine, and you can get your EGFR automatically derived by the standard formula. And normal EGFR is 90 to 120 ml. Another test which is very important to understand is urine microprotein leak testing. That is, whether you are leaking a very minimal fraction of the protein which is otherwise not detectable in the routine lab test. If it is more than 30, yes, it is a sign there is some problem in your kidney. Last but not the least, though it is a crude test by which we can identify the structural abnormality of the kidney is an ultrasound. But these tests are not enough. These are important. As I've already said, this is a message from Kidney Care Society I spread to everybody. After 30, every birthday, you first celebrate with going to the Ryan Trivedi lab or any good lab where you should do your blood test, see whether you are diabetic or not. Diabetes also silently creeps in. Check your blood urea creatinine, test your urine, if possible, do a ultrasound, and obviously blood pressure has to be checked, body weight has to be checked. মানে আমরা জন্মদিনের দিন, যে দিনটা আমাদের জন্মদিন থাকছে, সেই দিনটে যে বার্থডে, বিকেলে আমরা কেক নিশ্চয়ই কাটবো। কিন্তু সকালবেলায় প্লিজ আফটার 30 বছর হয়ে গেলে আমরা প্লিজ ব্লাড প্রেশারটা একবার চেক করে নেব, সুগার আছে কিনা জেনে নেব। আমার সুগার গত বছর ছিল না, এবছর আসবে না তার কোনো গ্যারান্টি নেই। প্লিজ চেক ইট। Until you test, you will not know. And obviously test your urea creatinine. By that you know your GFR and test the urine sample. This is very simple, very simple. আমাদের দেশে এত বেশি diabetes prevalence, we have to check for that whether you are diabetic or not. You have to check for that we have blood pressure or not. আর যদি সন্ধ্যাবেলার মধ্যে রিপোর্ট পেয়ে গেলাম সুগার 400, প্লিজ কেকটা খাবেন না। Let's cake cutting ceremony after 8:30. Whatever the lab says that আমরা রিপোর্ট 7টায় দেবো, তারপরে কেক কাটিং সেরেমনি হবে। যদি দেখা যায় ক্রিয়াটিনিন বেড়ে গেছে, our nutrition team is working for designing some cakes which is usable or a patient can take, for the kidney disease patient can cut it, low potassium cake, because the cream and the chocolate which is given is very high in potassium. And the phosphorus, very high in phosphorus. The cheese which has been given in the preparation, they are very high in the phosphorus. So our nutrition team has decided few cakes which our patient can cut and eat. Okay, so the message is, প্রত্যেক বার্থডে, এভরি বার্থডে জীবন থেকে কিন্তু একটা বছর চলে গেল। You need to understand that very clearly. আমরা সেলিব্রেট করি আনন্দের মুহূর্ত, বাট দ্য হোল arena of life, 1 year is gone. So it has to be celebrated in a way so that rest of the life gets very well. So GFR is not enough. Yes, we do preach GFR because this is the test, যে টেস্টটা দিয়ে আমরা সত্যি GFR কে দেখতে পারি। কিন্তু সায়েন্স তো প্রচণ্ড স্পিডে এগোচ্ছে, প্রচণ্ড দ্রুত গতিতে বিজ্ঞান এগিয়ে চলেছে। সায়েন্স ইজ মুভিং ফাস্ট। উই হ্যাভ টু বি কিপ দ্য পেস অ্যাজ দ্য সায়েন্স ইজ গোয়িং। আপনারা শুনলে খুব আশ্চর্য হবেন। মিস্টার পার্থ, ইউ আর হিয়ার। যে গুগল, যে এখন গুগলের যে গোটা পৃথিবীর গুগলের যে কর্ণধার, উনি রিসেন্টলি একটা খুব সুন্দর ভিডিও পোস্ট করেছেন। আমি কিছু তার এক্সাম্পল দেখাবো। বিকজ আলটিমেটলি দ্য ব্লাড ভেসেল, it leads and takes all nutrition to all our body. Diabetes is practically so dangerous because it involves majority of the blood vessels, either large or small. বড় বড় আমাদের শিরা ধমনির অসুখ তৈরি করে বা ক্যাপিলারি অসুখ তৈরি করে, তার এফেক্টে আমাদের হার্ট, কিডনি, ব্রেন সব কিছুর অসুখ হয়। সিমিলারলি যখন কিডনির অসুখ হয় তখন দেখা যায় কিডনির অসুখের জন্য সমস্ত শিরা ধমনিগুলো আরও অসুস্থ হয়ে পড়ছে। উই কল্ড দ্য লট অফ ভাস্কুলোপ্যাথি, সেকেন্ডলি ইনডিউসড calcification of the vessels leading to a lot of problems. And আমাদের শরীরে শুধুমাত্র রেটিনা হচ্ছে একটি জায়গা। The retina is the only part where we can see the blood vessels directly, especially the smaller blood vessels. So image capture from the retina করে আমরা একটা blood vessel এর health সম্পর্কে জানতে পারি। And what is kidney? Kidney is nothing but a capillary mesh. The cortex of the kidney is a full of the small capillary mesh, which ultimately takes part in the filtration of all the toxins. So, if a disease which has a systemic involvement in any capillaries, any blood vessel, it is bound to affect the kidneys also. For example, hypertension, because of the pressure, it damages the interior walls of the blood vessel, which bad effect ultimately goes to the kidney. Similarly, in the diabetes, we get kidney affected because it affects the blood vessels. So henceforth, if we have a mechanism by which we can identify the minute and the minor changes in the retina, even which is not defined as per the diabetic retinopathy, it could give us some clue regarding the health of the capillaries of the body. This had been scientifically studied by a specialized image processing technique. And this has been tried in one of the eye hospital in Hyderabad, where the Google has designed a device which is capturing the images of the retinas. And these images of the retinas from the normal vis-a-vis what are the abnormal, they are all analyzed in a very systematic method in a cloud-based system. And by that, they come to a conclusion that possibly the capillary networks are not healthy. They are going some disease. And this can be detected much prior to the onset of advanced disease, which is manifested by malfunction of the system. So these are the lot of evidences for that. Very interesting area, that is secretome. What does secretome means? Yes, sir. That is already too late, sir. If they are already detected retinopathy, it is too late. It is already too late. I am talking about prevention mean we are thinking about. Yes. This is highly connected because retinopathy and the kidney disease are so nicely interacted. I mean, GFR is normal. That's prevention. That's prevention. Once the creatinine goes up, protein starts, no point in coming to Dr. Sengupta. We will guide you, obviously, to calm it down, but ultimately it will progress to a situation where. So that's prevention. Prevention means do something before the onset of the disease. Because once you are diabetic, you are prone to develop the problem. So now we are thinking about the secretome. Secretome means the cells in the body, they secretes lot of minute chemokines, minute cytokines, chemicals. Choto chemicals shorir theke secret kore. These chemicals interacts one cell, one tissue group with the other groups. If there is some problem in abnormality, they give some signal. It is our failure, we cannot identify. It is our failure, our lab has not equipped enough to identify this problem. But body gives signal much more prior. So if we can identify that secretomes, different part of the kidney has a different secretomes. For example, it's a glomerular disease. If it is a tubular disease, if it is interstitial disease, they all secretes a lot of secretomes. And these secretomes can be analyzed. Few have been already clinically tested. For example, NGAL, kidney injury molecule, or interleukin 10. These are the three molecules can be tested in the urine by which, prior to the onset of any acute kidney injury, we can identify the possibly kidney is not healthy. This is giving some signal. Prevention means we are thinking like that. Believe me, I have a serious discussion with one of the very, very senior physicists of the Siemens company and one of the very senior physicists of the Philips company who developed and designed the fibroscan machine. The basic purpose is, in liver, if the liver gets disturbed with the cirrhosis, is diseased by the cirrhosis, what happens? There are a lot of fibrosis. And fibrosis can be identified by the elasticity of the tissue. And it is a standard clinical test by which we identify whether the liver is healthy or liver is unhealthy. Or we can grade it, how much fibrosis has been happened. Why not to apply it in the kidney? Because same thing is going to happen. A diseased kidney is a fibrotic. A diseased kidney is a white in ultrasound. মানে আল্ট্রাসাউন্ড করলে আমরা কিডনিকে একটা শক্ত ফাইব্রোটিক দেখতে পাই আর হেলদি কিডনি ইজ ইলাস্টিক দ্যাট ইজ দ্য প্রিন্সিপাল অফ লাইফ moment we lose elasticity, moment we become rigid, possibly we are approaching toward death. A child is the most elastic, most flexible, and same is applicable for the all organ. Believe me, once you are rigid in your idea, in your concept, or whatever is that, already you are dead. You have no capacity to learn something new. That the rigidity, other way, means we are losing life. In all aspects. When somebody dies, the body becomes so hard, we call it rigor mortis. And flexibility is life. So that's applicable for every organ. Even if the kidney is flexible, that means its tissues are elastic. They have a capacity to handle bloods, handle all the tissues. It has a filtration capacity. These kidneys are healthy. So we measure the elasticity. These are some images I have taken from the Siemens experimental lab, where we have tried with a different probe and different ultrasound intensity to identify a different grades of rigidity. It needs near about 1 year of different research to identify the earlier stages of fibrosis. I don't want anybody to land in with a shrunken kidney, small kidney. Let's one ultrasound give us a clue that there are some fibrosis going on. So these are the preventive approach these are the early screening and diagnostic approach by which we can identify a kidney disease early. Now coming to the prevention and step to retard progression. What does prevention mean? What does nephroprotection mean? Prevention, I have already said. If you are at risk, you have to do something so that the disease does not happen. If you are already diseased, we have to do something. We have to do research so that the progression does not happen to the end stage. Or we have to do something so that we can reverse the progressing renal failure to the normal or better stage. So this is otherwise nephroprotection means. Now, we are living in India. We have to be very careful about to understanding what are the risks. The most and foremost risk for the chronic kidney disease is the diabetes. Can anybody here in this hall raise your hand? How many of you are diabetic? How many have tested that you are non-diabetic? You have tested and you know that you are non-diabetic? Half of the hall raise the hand when it is diabetic. And really 30-40% raise. I want 100% should raise your hand to check whether diabetes are creeping in. Believe me, today diabetes is not symptomatic. Aajke diabetes se apnar to kono problem hocche na. But if it is slowly creeping in over years, it will land in a problem when it is irreversible. So, diabetes and hypertension, they are the two modern enemies. We have to be very careful. There are a lot of environmental toxin. I'll discuss about it. Nephrotoxic drug, Kidney Care Society doing serious research on it, serious data collections, how the nephrotoxic drugs, what's its impact in leading to the kidney disease, and obviously the clinical inertia of healthcare and the family. Clinical inertia means আমার একটা সিমটম হয়েছে কিন্তু ডাক্তারের কাছে যাবো বা টেস্ট করাবো এটাতে আমাদের সাংঘাতিক একটা ইনার্শিয়া আছে until unless we are forced to, we never land to any laboratory for testing or go to the doctor. This is very bad. This is very bad. I request to my all friends, those who have their company, those who are responsible for their employees working there, them, do not give appraisal every year until you get a blood test reports, urine test reports. At least we can identify. That's the system in the US, that's the system in the UK. Every year, every employee has to deposit to the national database regarding their health status, regarding their blood reports, to get a clearance so that they get the appraisal for their salary for the next year. This we can impose. It's very simple. This is one very simple thing by which we can quickly identify and quickly help a lot of people. So diabetes it's a whole day discussion. It's not possible to control or discuss about the diabetes in a single lecture, but we know we are the diabetic capital of the world. So there are 55% rise in the diabetic predicted in last 2 decades. And believe me, this is a prevalence which has been published in the Lancet, the most prestigious journal of the medicine, that burden of the diabetes in the different India, how it is varying since 2019 to 2016. You'll be surprised to know there is a significant rise even after so much awareness, so much camp, so much media campaign. We are failing to tame diabetes. So how to arrest it? Believe me, genetically, our understanding for the diabetes is really so minuscule. We have not decided any specific strategy to cure diabetes. What we can do, we can prevent it. স্যার কিছুক্ষণ আগে বলেছেন যে 1921 যখন বেন্টিং অ্যান্ড বেস্ট প্রথম ইনসুলিন আবিষ্কার করেছিল আমরা ভেবেছিলাম যে ডায়াবেটিস, প্রবলেম অফ ডায়াবেটিস ইজ গন। অন দ্য আদার ওয়ে রাউন্ড, প্রায় 100 বছর পর আজকেও আমরা দেখছি ডায়াবেটিস একই রকমভাবে সমস্যায় আছে। বাট ইট ইজ প্রুভেন যে লাইফস্টাইল, exercise and diet can delay the onset of diabetes, can prevent onset of the diabetes. আমি আমার একটা জ্বলন্ত এক্সাম্পল দিচ্ছি ইন মাই ফ্যামিলি। My father was diagnosed as a diabetic at the age of 46. Last 30 years, he is doing exercise every day 2 hours. সূর্য উঠলো না বা সূর্য উঠেছে কি ওঠেনি, বৃষ্টি হচ্ছে কি হয়নি, it is never absent in his routine. At the age of 78, he is absolutely healthy, no cardiovascular morbidity, there is any macrovascular complication. I believe it is because of the exercise and because of the diet which is maintaining for over years. That has to be done. Problem is, at the age of 40, when somebody is very busy, somebody has a CEO of the company, somebody is leading a lot of responsibilities, suddenly you ask him to do exercise because you are diabetic. And he cannot make out time because today he has a meeting, today he has to fly there. So it has to be adopted in the culture. It has to be adopted in the culture from the very beginning. আচ্ছা, আপনারা বলুন, এমন কোনো দিন হয়েছে আপনি ব্রাশ করেননি? In the morning you have never brushed? It was a story in 1950, 1960. People don't used to brush. But we make it a habit for the child from the very beginning that you have to brush. The first thing you have to do in the morning is the brushing. Why not we can make our child a habit that first thing you have to do is some exercise. Maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. আমি একটা ছোট্ট এক্সাম্পল দিচ্ছি। In Japan, they have a highest cardiovascular death. Japan people used to die in 1980 at the age of 60 by cardiovascular death. They used to smoke like a chimney. What Japanese government did? They made it mandatory by a national forum that every school must have a gym. And any child who is going to the school or attending to the school, if their BMI is above certain level, they have to exercise for 1 hour. If it is less than that, they have to exercise for half an hour. Otherwise, attendance is not accepted. It's a simple move what they did because it's very easy to motivate a child, very easy. And you make the gym accordingly. তাদের খেলা দিন, কোনো খেলনা টেলনা করে দিন, বাট মেক ইট এ হ্যাবিট that স্কুলে গিয়ে প্রথম এক্সারসাইজ করতে হয়। এই অভ্যাসটা করার পর লাস্ট 2 decades the cardiovascular mortality is reduced by 40% in the Japan. What they did? They made a tiffin box check mechanism. This government gives a specific menu for the child what to be carried as a tiffin. No chips, no cold drinks, and the tiffin box are checked. If the prescribed menu or the food the child is carrying is not acceptable for his health, they have a nutritionist obviously, the child used to stay in the school without food. So that was, they are so strict, and by that they have reduced the cardiovascular disease, heart disease by 40%. A recommendable, preventive approach. So lunchbox monitoring, tiffin box monitoring, these are the also important area. We are developing a team of nutritionists who can suggest you in this regard. There are few drugs, obviously, these are the marvelous research which has been come out. For example, DPP4 inhibitors and SGLT2 inhibitors. It's a very new drug. Those who are diabetic, this is my humble request to ask your doctor whether these drugs are indicated or not, because research shows these are the medicine which prevents the progression of the renal failure, prevents proteinuria or onset of other cardiovascular comorbidities which are otherwise aligned with the diabetes. This group of medicine was not in our hand earlier. We had only metformin, we had only sulfonylurea group of drugs. They are only sugar reducing agents, but their benefit are more beyond the sugar control. Empiric trial যখন পাবলিশড হলো তখন এই ড্রাগটা এসেছিল সুগার কমানোর জন্য, কিন্তু দেখা গেল ইট ইজ গিভিং দ্য অ্যাডভান্টেজ অফ রিডাকশন অফ দ্য হার্ট ফেলিয়ার, রিডাকশন অফ দ্য ডেথ. So the more focus has been going emphasis. So it has some preventive role in the microvascular complications. Hypertension, another big challenge. Every 100 Indians, 12 to 7 in the rural area, 20 to 40 in the urban area are hypertensive. And kidney disease or hypertension is so nichely connected. They have an egg and chicken relationship. We don't know who comes earlier. We have to be very careful regarding monitoring your blood pressure. Do we ever test our blood pressure at home? We have fancy TV, we have fancy electronic equipments at home, but no good calibrated digital blood pressure machine. I think this is mandatory of the modern life. Even you are hypertensive or not, you must have a blood pressure, you must check your blood pressure. Salt is a toxin. We have a different research on this. How should be the salt, how much salt somebody should take. And obviously, I want to know how many of here is smoker. Can you raise your hand? Oh, it's very nice. Thank for the Kidney Care Society. Only one hand raised. I'm very helpful. Big hand. So smoking is significantly coming down. I fully agree, because smoking is coming down. Exercise and a healthy diet is really important. Now, there are a lot of agents which arrest the progression of the kidney disease. Yes, our understanding is less because kidney is so complex. For example, ketanalog helps to some extent, taurine, acetylcysteine and taurine combination, sodium bicarbonate. And regarding acetyl and taurine, we did the first randomized control trial in Calcutta, and our results are very, very interesting, and we have published it in one of the interesting journal. So next of the preventable cause which leads to the kidney disease, we do not know silently, are the painkiller, PPI, glomerular disease, Ayurvedic drugs, kidney stones, antibiotics, chemotherapy, infection, gutkha, pan parag, and obviously alcohol. Alcohol leads to a huge number of renal fibrosis. There are a lot of research on this, and environmental toxin and pesticide. I'm coming to that point. Believe me, nothing other than painkillers or irrespective use of a lot of antibiotics which are toxin to the kidney is related to the kidney disease. In SSKM hospital, we did a study of CKDU, that is kidney disease, chronic kidney disease, etiology is not clear. And we found that 60% of CKDU, where we cannot identify why the renal failure has happened, is related to the painkiller. So it's very important. And if you look the market share, Bhoveran has the largest market share in the India, which is the most strongest, killer for the kidney. So we have to be very careful. The painkiller, ব্যথার ওষুধের দোকান থেকে আমরা যে কিনে খাই, এই ব্যথার ওষুধ কিডনির জন্য সাংঘাতিক ক্ষতিকারক। আমাদের সবার এটা সচেতন থাকা উচিত। There is a patient, this gentleman came to consult me, বাঁকুড়া থেকে এসেছিলেন, একটা ইয়াং ছেলে কার্পেন্টার, একটা পিঠের দিকে ব্যথা হচ্ছিল, তাকে ফ্লেকশন এমআর দিনে 3টে করে খেতে দেওয়া হয়েছে। দুদিন পর পা ফুলে গেল, মুখ ফুলে গেল। যখন আমার কাছে এলো, ইউরিয়া 178, ক্রিয়াটিন 5.3। আমি জিজ্ঞেস করলাম, ভাই তোমার কি হয়েছে, এর আগে কোনো অসুখ হয়েছিল? কিচ্ছু হয়নি, দিব্যি কাজ করি, খেটে খাই বাবু। তো হলোটা কি? বলছি কোমর একটু ব্যথা হচ্ছিল। কি ওষুধ খেয়েছো? ফ্লেকশন এমআর। কটা করে? দিনে 3টে করে। কদিন ধরে খাচ্ছ? 5 থেকে 7 দিন ধরে। ছিল কি তোমার? এই দু সাইড যন্ত্রণা হচ্ছিল হঠাৎ। হ্যাঁ, তারপর যে একদিন গ্রামে ডাক্তার দেখাইলাম, 1-2 দিন দেখানোর পর তাও কমলো না, বমি আর যন্ত্রণা। বর্ধমানে এসে দেখানো হলো, ওরা রিপোর্ট করার পর দেখা গেলো যে কিডনি ইনফেকশন হয়েছে। তারপর কি হলো? তারপর ওষুধ ইনজেকশন তো দিয়েছিল। He said, I had a pain. I went to a doctor. The doctor gave me the flexion MR 3 times in a day. Whatever doctor prescribed is ultimately medicine. People believe it and take it. And this is another story which is really, really very painful. আমি জানি না দেবাশিস দা কি আছেন এখানে? দেবাশিস দা এসছেন কি? সো দেবাশিস দা আমাকে দেখান, কলকাতা শহরে, এটা না হয় গ্রামে হয়েছে, ইনি আমায় দেখান আজকে প্রায় 6 থেকে 7 বছর ওদের পরিবারের সবাইকে আমি দেখি, প্রত্যেকেরই কিডনির সামান্য সমস্যা আছে। ইনার 1.4, 1.5 ক্রিয়াটিনিন থাকে। এটা লুজ মোশন হয়েছেন, আমাকে ফোনে অ্যাপয়েন্টমেন্ট পায়নি, লোকাল ডক্টরের কাছে গেছে, অ্যামিকাসিন 3টে করে দেওয়া আছে, 4 দিন অ্যামিকাসিন নিয়েছেন। অ্যান্ড সি দ্য রেজাল্ট, প্রেজেন্টেড উইথ এ ক্রিয়াটিনিন 10.6।
আমরা চলছিলাম, কিন্তু আমার একটা মাঝে মাঝে এই লুজ মোশন হয়। লুজ মোশন হলে পরে আমাকে ইঞ্জেকশন নিয়ে নিতে হয়, ওই মেকাসিন ইঞ্জেকশন। তা আমি তো জানতাম না যে মেকাসিন ইঞ্জেকশনে কিডনির উপর হেভি এফেক্ট হয়।
মাঝে মধ্যেই হতো তোমার এই সমস্যাটা?
এই সমস্যাটা মাঝে সাঝে হতো।
আচ্ছা,
হয়তো 1-2 নিতাম, ঠিক হয়ে যেত।
আচ্ছা,
এবার একটু বেশি নেওয়া হয়ে গেছে।
সেটা একটু ফ্রিকোয়েন্সিটা বেশি বলছো তুমি, পরপর নিয়েছিলে কি এরকম?
না, সেরকম না, এবার একসাথে কতগুলো বেশি নেওয়া হয়ে গেছে।
আচ্ছা,
অন্য সময় হয়তো 1 বা 2 নিলাম, এবার 4টা নেওয়া হয়ে গেছে।
আচ্ছা,
এই 4টা নেওয়ার পরে আমার স্যারকে যখন দেখাই, স্যার তো খুব রেগে যায় আমার উপরে, পেন ছেড়ে টেবিল ছেড়ে উঠে দাঁড়ায়। তোমাদেরকে 12 বছর ধরে আমি ভালো রেখে দিয়েছি, কোনো ট্রিটমেন্ট করতে দিচ্ছি না, সাধারণ ওষুধের উপরে তোমাদেরকে ঠিক রেখে দিয়েছি, আর এটা তুমি কী করেছো? এই রাগারাগি হয়, আমাকে বকাবকি করে। তারপরে আমার এই টেস্ট করাই, ক্রিয়েটিন টেস্ট করাই, ক্রিয়েটিন টেস্ট করিয়ে দেখা যায় ক্রিয়েটিন আমার প্রায় 10-এর কাছাকাছি চলে গেছে। ঠিক গেছে, 10-এর কাছাকাছি চলে গেছে, তখন আমি নার্সিংহোমে ভর্তি হই। এবার নার্সিংহোমে ভর্তি করিয়ে স্যারের কাছে মানে প্রতিম সেনগুপ্তের আন্ডারে ট্রিটমেন্ট করিয়ে এখন আমি আপাতত দুই ক্রিয়েটিনের মধ্যে আছি।
আচ্ছা, তো এখন ফিল বেটার আগের থেকে?
ফিল বেটার, অনেক
আচ্ছা,
অনেক ফিল বেটার।
তো তুমি এই যে হঠাৎ করে হসপিটালাইজেশনটা হলো, সেটার কারণ কি ছিল? কি সমস্যা নিয়ে এসেছিল?
এই যে তোমার ইস্যু বেড়ে গেছিলো, ক্রিয়েটিন বেড়ে গেছিলো অনেক, এর জন্য।
আর শ্বাসকষ্ট ছিল একটা
সামান্য শ্বাসকষ্ট ছিল, ওটা আর খুব বড় কিছু না।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা আচ্ছা। আর লুজ মোশনের জন্য তোমার তাহলে ওই ব্যাপারটা চলতো?
হ্যাঁ, লুজ মোশন আমার সবসময় চলতো।
সেটা এখন কি কন্ট্রোল?
So amikacin is another toxic for the kidney. At least we must not prescribe this drug those who are prone for developing diabetes, elderly, hypertensive, diabetics, and or else if you need to prescribe it, it's your responsibility to monitor the kidney function in time to time. So we should be very careful about this nephrotoxic drug, painkillers, proton pump inhibitors, amikacin, slimming pills, Ayurvedic drugs, a lot of Ayurvedic drugs, আমরা জানি না কি unknown alkaloids থাকে, they ultimately, Ayurveda is not bad, but believe me, impure alkaloid containing medications can damage to your kidney, be careful. Stamina building drug is a new trend in the majority of the gym that takes a lot of anabolic steroids and ultimately it leads to the renal failure. Anabolic steroid induced focal segmental glomerulosclerosis is a known clinical entity published from the Mayo Clinic, at least 180 case series. And I know because Subhabrata is my friend. In his gym, a lot of young chap who are very eager to develop their muscles, they take anabolic steroid injection routinely before the exercise and take a lot of protein shake. Few months back, I transplanted a 16 years old chap. He said me, Doc, I was doing vigorous gym and this is my craze. I was taking anabolic steroid. And after all, suddenly my creatinine grown up from the 2 to ultimately 8. Now there is no hope for the transplant. So this is a very, very bad thing. Antibiotic gentamicin I already said. Lasix, আমরা সবাই জানি, Lasix একটা খুব ভালো ওষুধ, পেচ্ছাপ করতে সাহায্য করে. Lasix has changed a lot of area in the renal failure fluid management. But it is a two-way sword, শাকের করাত। যদি ঠিক ডোজে প্রয়োগ না করা হয়, higher dose of Lasix is toxic for the kidney. It causes ATN and also it has a lot of toxicity for ear, toxicity and a lot of things. So be careful while prescribing Lasix to assess the volume status because it is a dangerous. আমাদের বাড়িতে ফ্রিজ খুললে প্রথম দেখা যায় কোল্ড ড্রিঙ্কস, বিলিভ মি, এভরি ফ্রিজ ইজ লোডেড উইথ দ্য কোল্ড ড্রিঙ্কস। আর একটু গ্রামের দিকে গেলে, গ্রামে নয় শহরেও রয়েছে গুটখা, স্মোকিং, দিস আর নোটোরিয়াস। Cold drinks, why it is dangerous? There are a lot of studies which have showed pesticides and heavy metal content is very high. This is published from the IMA. The pesticide content in the thumbs up is 15.2%. How pesticide dangerous for the kidney? I have a session. I'll show you. There are a lot of other cold drinks too which are dangerous. So we have to be very careful. Betel nut বা সুপুরি, যাদের পান খাওয়ার অভ্যাস আছে, কলকাতায় খুব একটা প্রাসঙ্গিক নয়. I used to go to the Agartala and there was a huge number of patients used to come with the CKD in the very young age. And the only thing common in all of them, they were all addicted to the betel nut. আগরতলায় দিনে 4-5টা করে পান না খেলে কারো হয় না, মানে everybody takes betel nut. Betel nut has some alkaloid which leads to the renal fibrosis, and there are a lot of clinical literature which has been published right now from the China and India that which leads to the betel nut nephropathy. এই ফলটা কি চেনেন আপনারা? এটাকে বলে হচ্ছে কামরাঙ্গা। It's notorious for the kidney. ছোটবেলা আমিও খেয়েছি, জানতাম না, তখন নেফ্রোলজিস্ট হইনি, প্রচুর খেয়েছি। বাট দিস ফ্রুট ইজ কল্ড দ্য স্টার ফ্রুট নেফ্রোপ্যাথি। ইট ওয়াজ পাবলিশ ইন দ্য ক্লিনিক্যাল জার্নাল, ইন দ্য সিডি ক্লিনিক্যাল জার্নাল, দ্যাট দ্য স্টার ফ্রুট যারা বেশি খায়, এছাড়া আরও কিছু এনভায়রনমেন্টাল টক্সিন আছে, যেমন চাইনিজ হার্বস, বেশ কিছু এনভায়রনমেন্টাল টক্সিন লাইক স্নেক বাইট হুইচ ইজ ইনএভিটেবল, আদারওয়াইজ নট প্রিভেন্টেবল। আই এম নট ডিসকাসিং অ্যাবাউট দ্যাট। নাও কামিং টু দি লাইফস্টাইল অ্যান্ড নিউট্রিশন, দিস ইজ ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট। বিলিভ মি, ভারতবর্ষের শাস্ত্রে বলা হতো উই আর হোয়াট উই ইট, মানে আমরা যা খাই সেটাই হচ্ছে তাই, মানে আমাদের যে পথ্য এবং খাদ্য সেটাই কিন্তু আমাদের শরীর তৈরি করে। বাট অফ লেট উই হ্যাভ চেঞ্জ আওয়ার ডায়েট, দ্য ওয়েস্টার্নাইজেশন হ্যাজ হ্যাপেন্ড। এখন তো সুইগি আছে, আরও কত কি আছে, মোবাইলে বসে বসে ঘরে কোনোদিন চিকেন, কোনোদিন কিছু, কত কি ঢুকছে। সো ফুড হ্যাবিট হ্যাজ টোটালি চেঞ্জ অ্যান্ড ইট হ্যাজ এ ট্রিমেন্ডাস বিয়ারিং অন আওয়ার হেলথ। ফুড ইজ এ ফুয়েল ফর দ্য বডি, but we eat for fantasy. No other species in this universe eats when they are full, except human being. We have a morning party, we have a lunch party, we have an evening tea party, we have a night dinner party, then blood sugar goes up, creatinine goes up, we comes to doctor, and I got a call, doctor, আমার creatinine বেড়েছে, কালকে একটা omelette খেতে পাবো, অঞ্জনদা এসছে কি? অঞ্জনদা called me yesterday that আমার একজন patient আছে, ও একটু omelette খেতে চাইছে, কি করা যায় স্যার? So obviously food is a fantasy. Food is not necessary for our health. It is a fantasy for us. So you have to be very careful about it. It needs some special conditioning. It needs some special area. Now we need to understand one thing. Agriculture has developed a lot. We are eating a lot of foods. We are cultivating. We have started agriculture. But whatever cultivation we are doing, they supply not to us, also the other species. Pests. They survive on vegetables, crops we cultivate. We need to kill them, so you use pesticides. Very good. Now what happens? This is the national data from the Delhi. There was one NGO who tested all the available vegetables and applied to the High Court the pesticide exposure of the vegetables in India is 750 times more than what it's supposed to be. So this is a Sumamoto case has been done in the High Court, and there are multiple research papers that organochlorine pesticides their lands in the chronic kidney disease. Pesticide exposure, chronic kidney disease of unknown etiology. There was an epidemiological review, and this was a study done with a lot of agriculturals. Farmers, those who are exposed to the pesticides, their incidence of renal failure is 20 times higher than those who are not exposed to the pesticides. So we know it. But how to get rid of that? Is there any option? Yes, we did some work on this area. Yes, first thing is you have to wash it very clearly. In a running water, wash. But majority of them cannot be cleaned properly by simple water washing. Believe me, the pesticides which are available, we did a research on this. We have a collaboration with Bidhan Chandra Krishi Vidyalaya, one of the very senior professors coming today. He will talk regarding how to get rid of this pesticide issue. We do a lot of research work in collaboration. He said to me that, okay, alkaline environment, the pesticide usually breaks it down. So the best way is give some baking soda or vinegar, soak the vegetables in that for some time, then again wash it out. It will clear up a lot of pesticides. But thinking one step ahead, why not to grow your own vegetables? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Shurit, are you here? Shurit is here? Shurit, please come. So these are not a fancy photograph. These are all reality. Shurit is one of my friend. He's dedicatedly attached with Kidney Care Society. He does a lot of work. So let me introduce Shurit. He does a fantastic job. He designed some technique by which even in the rooftop balcony, we can grow our own vegetables with some organic manures without any pesticides, so that it does not lead any pesticide related issue. You cannot handle it. So you can grow your vegetables on your own. You can see them growing. You can preserve it, and it is enough for a family. Shurit, তুমি যদি কিছু বলো কতটা জায়গা দরকার?
100 square feet is fine.
100 square feet is nothing. It can serve 2 to 3 members. Yeah. So it's nice, and they have some craters by which they can serve. I have a beautiful video. Can grow our own vegetables, avoiding these problems, and it has a different quality. We are thinking in that line. Cucurmin, believe me, In 2017, World Congress of Nephrology, I had a paper. We did a research. Thank you, Surit. So big hand for Surit, please. He done a marvelous job. Okay. So in Cucurmin, actually, we had a research paper that we presented how Terminella cebula, that is haritaki, it is helpful for the patient who is suffering from the renal failure to cut down their nausea and vomiting. And amazingly, beside my paper, there was Professor Tom Gare from North Virginia University. He was researching on the Cucurmin for the last 15 years. He said, Dr. Sengupta, it is one of the most important ingredient in India. I want to learn from you. What is your experience? I said, believe me, I didn't research it. I cannot say, but it is traditionally we use in all our cookings. Cucurmin has been found to reduce the incidence of diabetic nephropathy. It reduces the fibrosis of the kidney. It reverses the proteinuria. 16 grams in a day in the early morning is tremendously helpful for preventing fibrosis in the kidney. Potassium is a big challenge for the renal failure patients. Those who are suffering from renal failure, we cannot allow the foods or the food items which has a high in the potassium. This was a serious thought. Why a patient of India cannot take dal? Because without dal, nobody can survive. Dal is such an important part of our food. How can I live? How can I think a dish without a dal? How can I think about a product, dal products, of dal products? বড়া খেতে পারবো না বাঙালি ছেলে ভাই আমার বাড়িতে মুসুরির ডাল লেবু না হলে আমার ভালো লাগে না ঠিক আছে very simple. So what I did, I collaborated with the Vedant Chandra Krishi Vidyalaya. I said, okay, you guys are doing so many research. You have a beautiful genomic lab. You are developing so many things. Why not to develop a breed of dal which has a low potassium? Yes, it worked. I had a serious presentation with them. And this is the mechanism by which nitrogen and potassium get shifted. And this is the rootlet where the source of potassium is soil. You need to understand. It is not the dal. We are blaming dal. But where does the potassium is coming from? It is coming from the soil. Who is carrying it? The rootlet. Which protein in the rootlet? We identified a potassium transporter in the rootlet. So we have developed a mutated variety of lentil whose potassium content is 20% less. Ladies and gentlemen, this research paper I have presented in the Nobel Forum in 2014. Work is going on. All world is eager to learn. The problem we are getting, it is getting very highly infested with a lot of pests. So this will be a very interesting thing. So our dream that a patient with renal failure on dialysis will eat all the dal products is going to be reality very soon. Water is another big challenge. We are carrying water in the plastic bottle. We are carrying water in, I don't know, whatever material we are, because we need to understand that water is the most important ingredient of our body. 70% of us is water, but we have no consciousness what water we are taking, what water we are drinking. It is a segregated area. It needs a whole day discussion regarding which water is best for our health. RO, filtration, open river water, water in the copper container, lot of ideas. Aerated waters, believe me, the best so far I have found out scientifically, which have been researched, is a water stored in the earthen pot. A filtered water which gets aerated in the earthen pot is very good for the health as per the kidney is concerned. And please do not restrict your water intake if your creatinine is slightly high or low, because you need to be very careful to understand one thing. The habit of thirst or the mechanism of the thirst by which we drink, it has been evolved over 500 million years. Mother Nature has created that. And suddenly your creatinine is 1.4 and the doctor said don't drink more than 1 liter, and you restrict your water in the 1 liter, you are ultimately depriving your whole system, most ingredient part of the water. So it is a very, very difficult area to understand how much water is required for a person. Bottom line is, every human being has a different requirement. 1 liter may be good for me, it may not be good for you. 1 liter, 2 liters may be good for you, may be less for someone. And there is a notion that if we drink a huge amount of water, a large volume of the water in the morning, your kidney will be flushed off. It's not correct. Believe me, drinking too many water is also loads kidney, which a huge number of work. It increases the tubular work. So it is a specialized area. I devote at least most of my time during my consultation just to assess how much water somebody should drink. 800, 900, 1 liter. Rule of thumb is, if you are not gaining weight, if your legs are not swelling up, and to quench your thirst, the minimum amount of water which is required, drink that much. Rest, you leave it to us. Let us continue how much water you should drink. It is a not so easy thing. It's a very complicated thing. Now here is the most important part in kidney care 360 degree. What we can do beyond medicine. It is true that we do a lot of intervention with the drugs, blood pressure control, diabetes control, nutrition. But beyond medicine, there are few interventions which really helps. Mukti is another project which I and Shubhabrato jointly started 2 years ago. So we had a beautiful work in the Mukti, and believe me, in last year, the National Kidney Foundation, in 21st June, National Kidney Foundation incorporated yoga for health of the kidney disease. And we have started long back. Now they are incorporating, so it is much easier for us to tell somebody that, okay, you do yoga, it may help to you. In Mukti, it is a scientific understanding and application of Indian yoga. What exactly we do is really very interesting. So we have a session here right now after my talk. Shubhabrata will demonstrate and talk the philosophy of the Mukti, how we are doing it. Practically, it is working on the organ crosstalk. We have two main excretory organ in our body. আমাদের শরীরের বিপাকজাত সমস্ত বর্জ্য বের করার দুটো অর্গান আছে. One is kidney, another one is lung. Now, believe me, you have to understand one thing very clearly. Among the all vital organs, be it heart, liver, pancreas, kidney, the God has never given us any control. I cannot increase my heart rate on my wish. I cannot increase the secretion of my liver on my wish. I cannot increase the pancreas to function more on my wish. Because they are autonomically controlled. We don't have any control. Can you try and make a more volume of urine right now? No, you cannot. It's automatically controlled. But the only organ which is otherwise essential for life, most essential for life, is our respiratory system, that is our lung, which has both voluntary and autonomic control. When we sleep, lung works. If we want, right now I can take a deep breath. That's a very interesting. So this is the organ, by breathing we define the life starts in. When the breathing stops, we said somebody is no more. But this important organ, which otherwise synonymous with the life, has a dual control. It has a voluntary and autonomic control too. Based on that, possibly, the ancient Indian yogis, they have designed a lot of program, how to standardize, how to normalize, how to observe the breath. Breath, what we study in the modern medicine, is really improperly studied. Believe me, we do only the physical aspect of the breath. We do the vital capacity, inspiratory reserve capacity, we know the compliance, but breath has a much more deeper meaning and deeper understanding. Understanding this philosophy, we tried in the Mukti to organize, to train somebody how to breathe properly and how to increase the vitality of the lung, and that is doing marvel for our patients. And this is a small cartoon which is showing how our entire organ are connected, and if you improve one organ, how we get benefit to the other. In Mukti, we do the spirometry for our patients. Pre-inception of the program and the post-inception of the program, we are monitoring their lung function, and there is a significant improvement in a significant number of patients. And all the clinical data is scientifically analyzed. I'm going to publish it. And there are multiple research while preparing this, that okay, 6 months practice of yoga, simple 6 months practice of yoga has a remarkable improvement in the kidney function, blood pressure, better sleep control, better energy level, less depression among the patient. So it does not need any money. It's just a habit. You do it, you'll get the benefit. That's it. Among this, I'd like to mention few of the asanas where a serious research has been done in terms of the diabetes, kidney disease, and hypertension. Ardha Matsyendrasana is one of them. It has a tremendous therapeutic benefit, but believe me, you need to learn it. Seeing that cartoon, don't practice it. You need to learn it properly, and if you can practice it 5 minutes in a day, it has a tremendous role in prevention of the diabetes. Even those who have a family history of the diabetes, they can try it, and there is no harm. Similarly, Pavan Muktasana, then Bhujangasana, and another that is Setu Bandhasana. These three has been seriously researched for the patients suffering from the kidney disease, how they are going to help. Possibly they increase the renal perfusion. We don't have a beautiful lab where we can do a dynamic testing of how the renal blood flow is increasing during this test or this exercise. I'll be very happy if anybody who want to research or want to join in our hands in this program to have a MAC3 scanning, which facilities are there in the city right now, the patient pre and post, so how to see how their renal perfusion is changing. Possibly it will give a tremendous help. Yes, please. That's what I'm telling. So you are the live example of what I have told. The kidney disease presents without symptom. So what we need to test. Until you test.
My age was very less, sir. I was just 16.
Right now, just for managing the whole addressing community, I'm telling 30. I'll be happy if it start from the first birthday. What is the problem? Once you are with life, you have to take care of that.
No, sir. Actually, there was no symptoms, nothing, and then suddenly there was headache, and they did a sonography, and it has shrunken.
This is not only your case. We are getting this type of problem day in, day out. Henceforth this program, henceforth this awareness. If it had been came with all the symptoms known, then it is very easy. She underwent 2-time transplant under our care. So 16 years, no symptom, suddenly presented with renal failure. That is the notion, what we are doing. That this disease presents without any symptom. So be careful. And spread this message. But my suggestion is, in a country where 130 crore people are there, hardly 500, 600 people are here. How can I reach to the crores? Until you take a leadership to spread this message. Write down in our Facebook page. Write down our YouTube channel. This is going to happen. Please do test. This is the message we want. This is the message we want to share to everybody. So, Morshabi Didi, she is my patient. My patients are not patients. They are my family members, practically. So Morshabi Didi, what happened? She suddenly presented to us with a high creatinine, and her creatinine was 7. Okay, so this was ANCA-associated vasculitis. Obviously, it's a very bad disease. Those who are doctors, they know this is a very dangerous disease. So we managed. He improved. He went home, but he was totally depressed. He was not able to do any activities. At a mic din na, please. So she is one of our patients who is very regular in our Mukti classes. Most of the ঘাবড়ানোর কিছু নেই, এখানে সবাই যারা আমাদের family member, you just speak about what is your experience about Mukti, what you are facing right now. You are alive here, please tell.
নমস্কার। হ্যাঁ, নমস্কার সবাইকে এখানে উপস্থিত। হ্যাঁ, ঠিক আছে। আমি এই গত বছর 18 সালের আর কি আগে খুব একটা অসুস্থ ছিলাম না। হ্যাঁ, খুব ভালোভাবেই চলাফেরা করতাম, দৌড়ঝাঁপ সব কিছুই করতাম। তা 18 সালের এই 12ই মার্চ আমি অসুস্থ হয়ে পড়ি হঠাৎ। অসুস্থ বলতে আমার বুকের বাঁদিক থেকে একটা পেন হচ্ছিল, আর ক্রমশ হাতের দিকে নামছিল, আর তার সঙ্গে প্রেশার আমার আগে নর্মালি থাকতো, হঠাৎ হাই হয়ে গেল প্রচণ্ড পরিমাণে, আর অন্য নানা রকম প্রবলেম, এটা ক্রমশ বাড়তে থাকছিল। আর তারপর আস্তে আস্তে জ্বর, বমি, তারপরে নানা রকমের অন্য প্রবলেম হতে হতে আমি ছোটোখাটো টেস্ট আর তারপরে কিছু ট্রিটমেন্টের পরে আমি জানতে পারি আমার ক্রিয়েটিনিন বেড়ে 6.7 এরম হয়ে গেছে। তা তখন আমি তো সবাই চিন্তান্বিত বাড়িতে। তারপরে ডাক্তারবাবুর আমি সন্ধান পাই, তারপর ওনার কাছে আমি আইএলএসে ভর্তি হই। হ্যাঁ, ভর্তি হওয়ার পরে সেই রাত্রিবেলায় ভর্তি হয়েছিলাম, তা সেই আধা জ্ঞান অজ্ঞানের মধ্যে আমি তখন প্রায় অজ্ঞান অবস্থা। সেইখান থেকে আমি দেখতে পাই যে ওনারা আসার পর থেকেই যেভাবে ট্রিটমেন্ট শুরু হয়, একটা নিয়ম, একটা পদ্ধতি, ক্রমশ এক একটা টেস্ট নিয়ম মতো করে সেটার ওষুধ পরপর আমি ক্রমশ এটা আস্তে আস্তে কমতে থাকে। 15-16 দিন আমি ওখানে ছিলাম ডাক্তারবাবুর কাছে, আরও আইএলএসের যত ডাক্তারবাবুরা ছিলেন তারপরে যত স্টাফ নার্স যারা, প্রত্যেককে এত সুন্দর ভালো ব্যবহার, এবং মানুষকে সুস্থ করে তুলতে গেলে পরে শুধু ওষুধ নয়, তার সঙ্গে যে ব্যবহার এবং সবই পেয়েছি। তা ওখান থেকে যখন ছাড়া পাই তখন আমার ক্রিয়েটিনিন 1.7, এরকম একটা অবস্থাতে। আর অন্যান্য প্রবলেম, আমার প্যানক্লিয়ার্স অ্যাটাক হয়েছিল, আমার সিআরপি হাই হয়ে গিয়েছিল প্রচণ্ড পরিমাণে। তা সেই জায়গা থেকে আমি অনেকটা কমে আমি বাড়িতে মানে যার পাই, ছুটি পাই। তা বাড়িতে যাওয়ার পরে ট্রিটমেন্ট তো চলতে থাকে, ডাক্তারবাবু যেরকম আমাকে রেখেছেন, আমার কাছে তো উনি ভগবান, যাই হোক। তা এখন উনি যে রেখেছে আমি ভালো হই। হ্যাঁ, কিন্তু মন আমার একদম শেষ হয়ে গিয়েছিল, একদম মানে আমি ভাবছিলাম যে আমি আর কোনোদিনও কিচ্ছু করতে পারবো না, আমি শেষ, আমার আর কিচ্ছু নেই। এরপরে আমার মাঝে মাঝে চেক আপের ব্যাপারটা আসতে থাকে। তা সেখানে ডাক্তারবাবু আমার মনের অবস্থা দেখে উনি আমাকে সাজেস্ট করেন যে যোগা জয়েন করার জন্য। তা আমি তো এটা আগ্রহী হলাম। আগ্রহী হওয়ার পর আমি তো এরকম কোনো জায়গার সন্ধান জানতাম না। তা উনি তখন আমাকে বললেন যে এরকম আমাদের ওনাদের ওই মন্ত্রা ক্লাবে মুক্তি যোগা কেন্দ্র, সেখানে আমি সঠিক প্রশিক্ষণ পেতে পারি। তা আমি সেখানেও আগ্রহী হই, এবং প্রথম দিন যাওয়ার পরে আমার একটা জিনিস আমার সবচেয়ে বেশি ভালো লেগেছিল। এরকম একটা কোলাহল মুখর একটা শহর, তার মধ্যে চিড়িয়া মোড়ের মতন একটা জায়গা, দমদম চিড়িয়া মোড়, সেখানের যে একটা মন্ত্রা যে জায়গাটা, যারা গেছেন তারা জানেন, যারা ওখানে যান, একটা সুন্দর পরিবেশটা মানে কি, একটা বাগান ঘেরা এক টুকরো এলাকা, তার মধ্যে মন্ত্রা ক্লাব, তার মধ্যে মুক্তি ক্লাস হয়। পরিবেশটাই প্রথমে মানুষকে একটা মনটা সুন্দর করে দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করে, প্রথম পরিবেশটাই খুব সুন্দর, কোলাহলহীন একদম, এত সুন্দর পরিবেশটা। তারপরে ওখানে যাওয়ার পরে দেখলাম যে শুধু প্রশিক্ষণ নয়, প্রশিক্ষণটা একটা নিয়মের মধ্যে। নিয়ম মানে কি, প্রত্যেকটা পেশেন্টের প্রেসক্রিপশন অনুযায়ী তার সেই সময়কার ব্লাড প্রেশার, তার ব্লাড স্যাচুরেশন, তার ওই অক্সিজেন লেভেল, এগুলো প্রত্যেকটা মানুষের অনুযায়ী তাকে মানে আগে দেখা হয় যে কতটা, সেই অনুযায়ী একটা চার্ট করা হয়। এই চার্ট অনুযায়ী আমরা তারপরে ভিতরে যাওয়া হয়, ভিতরে যে রুম, একটা কাজ ঘেরা সুন্দর পরিবেশ, সেখানে আমাদের যোগা স্যার আছেন, সৌময় স্যার, উনি, তারপর ডাক্তারবাবু স্বয়ং থাকেন, আরও অনেকেই আইএলএসের অনেক স্টাফ থাকেন এবং যোগা কেন্দ্রের অনেক স্টাফ থাকেন। তারা প্রায় প্রত্যেককে ধরে ধরে নিয়মমাফিক ওই প্রত্যেকটা যোগা এত সুন্দর করে বারবার বুঝিয়ে দেন। এটা আমি শুরু করতে থাকি, এবং প্রতিদিন শুধু মেন ক্লাস নয়, ফলো আপ ক্লাস যেগুলো থাকে, সেটাতে কি হয়, মেন ক্লাসে যেগুলো শেখানো হয় সেগুলো বাড়িতে গিয়ে তো অভ্যেস করতে হয়, শুধু একদিন ওখানে গেলে কিছু হবে না। বাড়িতে এগুলো নিয়ম করে প্রতিদিন, কারো নয় দুবেলা করতে পারলেই ভালো, না হলে অন্তত একবেলা এটাকে অভ্যাস করতে হবে। একটা সময় ধরে জীবনে আমি যদি রোজকার কাজ রোজ একটা নির্দিষ্ট সময় করি, যে পুজোর কাজ, রান্নার কাজ, শোয়ার কাজ, ঘুমানোর কাজ, এই কাজটাকে একটা নিয়ম ধরে করতে হবে। এই নিয়মে চলতে চলতে আমি দেখতে পেলাম যে প্রথমে আমার যেটা হতো না শুরুতে, যে আমার ঘুম হতো না, মানে ঘুমে আমি রাত্রে জেগে জেগে যেতাম, মানে হঠাৎ চমকে জেগে যেতাম, আর ঘুম হচ্ছে না। এই জিনিসগুলো আমার প্রথম যেটা কষ্ট আমার এটা হতো যে আমি এক টুকরো ঘুমোতে পারছি না, এত টেনশন আমার হয়ে গিয়েছিল। তা সেইটা আমার আস্তে আস্তে কমতে শুরু করে। তারপর আস্তে আস্তে প্রতিদিন এই যে টেস্টগুলো যে হতো প্রতিদিন, যারা যোগা ক্লাসে জানেন যে শুরুতে এবং শেষে, শুরুতে একটা পেশেন্টের সেই অবস্থায় তার প্রেশার কীরকম আছে টেস্ট করা হলো, তার এই অক্সিজেন লেভেল লেখা, আবার যোগাটা হয়ে যাওয়ার সঙ্গে সঙ্গে ওখানেই বসেই আবার তার টেস্ট নেওয়া হয়, এবং সেটা অনুযায়ী ওনারা একটা চার্ট করে নিয়ে যান। সেটা পরবর্তীকালে ডাক্তারবাবুরা যে এগুলোকে দেখেন এবং ওখানে কী হবে, তাকে কী হবে, কী করা যায়, সেগুলো সেটা আমরা মানে উপলব্ধি করতে পারি যে কাকে অনুযায়ী কী করা যেতে পারে। ওই গেলাম করে এলাম হয়ে গেল, ওরম ব্যাপার কিছু নয়। হ্যাঁ, তা এই অবস্থায় করতে করতে আজকে আমি 8-9 মাস ধরে আমার ক্রিয়েটিনিন 0.9, ঠিক আছে, আমি অনেকটা ভালো। হ্যাঁ,
এরকম অনেক ওয়ারিয়ার আছেন, আরেকজন সামনে বসে আছে, অশেষদা। অশেষদা, তুমি কিছু বলবে প্লিজ, এসো।
হ্যাঁ, তারপরে আর বাদ বাকি প্রেশারও আমার এখন একদমই নর্মাল। আমি আগে সিলাকার 20 খেতাম, এখন সিলাকার 10 খাই, এবং আরও অনেক ওষুধ আছে যেগুলো আমি ব্যাকস্টোলুলার ওষুধ নিতাম, সেই ওষুধটা আমার বন্ধ হয়েছে আমার। তারপরে ফেব্রুয়ারি 40 আগে আমি রোজ নিতাম, আজকে এখন আমি একদিন অন্তর একদিন নিতে পারি। আরও উইপক্স বলে একটা ইঞ্জেকশান আমার কমে গিয়েছিলো, হিমোগ্লোবিন কমে গিয়েছিলো, সেটা আমার এখন 8-9 মাস ধরে সেটাও বন্ধ আছে। আচ্ছা, তারপরে এরকম অনেক ওষুধপত্র আমার কাছে। তবে মানসিক উন্নতি আমার প্রচুর পরিমাণে হয়েছে। মানে আমি যে এটা হারিয়ে ফেলেছিলাম নিজের ভিতরে যে আত্মবিশ্বাসটা, সেটা আমি অনেকাংশে ফিরে পেয়েছি। আর বাদবাকিটুকু আমার ডাক্তারবাবু জানেন, উনি আমাকে যেভাবে রেখেছেন আমি
থ্যাংক ইউ
সেভাবেই
মৌসুমীদি।
থাকবো।
এরকম অসংখ্য মানুষ যারা উপকৃত হচ্ছেন, যারা
আমি-
এই মুক্তি প্রোগ্রামে রেগুলার আসছেন, যারা উপকৃত হচ্ছেন, তারা আমাকে একটা সুযোগ করে দিয়েছে এই জিনিসটাকে এক্সপ্লোর করবার। আমি তাদের কাছে কৃতজ্ঞ। আজকে অশেষ দা এসছেন। অশেষ দা বহরমপুরে থাকেন। বহরমপুর থেকে একদিন হঠাৎ ওনার রেনাল ফেলিয়ার, সাংঘাতিক কন্ডিশন, ডায়ালিসিস, এবং এই মানুষটি প্রচণ্ড কর্মঠ একটি মানুষ। আপনাদের লালদিঘি ডায়াগনস্টিক সেন্টার, লালদিঘি মেডিকেল সেন্টার ওনার, উনি 450 ফ্যামিলি ওনার উপর দায়বদ্ধ। এই মানুষটির হঠাৎ একদিন কিডনি খারাপ হয়ে গেল। তারপর শুনুন কি ঘটনা।
নমস্কার, আমার নাম অশেষ কুমার মুখার্জি। আমি 63 বছর বয়স। আমি বহরমপুরেই ছিলাম, এখনও আছি। তো হঠাৎ, আমি জাস্ট ছোটো করেই বলছি, হঠাৎ আমার একটু পা ফোলে, এবং আমি কিন্তু মাঝে মধ্যে টেস্ট ফেস্ট সব করাই, কারণ যেহেতু আমার ফ্রি ল্যাব, কোনো পয়সা লাগে না। তো সবই নর্মাল ছিল। তারপরে আমি এখানে আমার যে ডায়াবেটিস আমার আছে, 210 পিপি থাকে, HbA1c 6%, মানে কন্ট্রোলেবল ডায়াবেটিস, কোনো ইনসুলিন নিতে হয় না, একটা করে ট্যাবলেট খেতাম, ঠিক আছে। হঠাৎ পা ফুলে আমি ডক্টর চন্দ্রকে দেখালাম। তো উনি বললেন, পা ফুলে একটু কয়েকটা আলসার হয়ে ব্লাড বেরোচ্ছে। উনি বললেন আপনি কোনো স্কিনের ডাক্তারকে দেখান। আমি একজন স্কিনের ডাক্তারকে দেখালাম। উনি বললেন যে আপনার ভাস্কুলাইটিস হয়েছে। তারপরে আমি একজন নামকরা রিউমাটোলজিস্টকে দেখালাম। তো উনি বললেন, কিছু টেস্ট দিলেন, প্রিয়াঙ্কা, বাঙ্কা, অঙ্কা, অনেক কিছু দিলেন টেস্ট। সব টেস্ট কিন্তু নর্মাল হলো, এবং স্কিন বায়োপসিও নর্মাল এলো। তো উনি আমাকে বললেন যে আপনার কী রোগ হয়েছে আমি বলতে পারছি না। উনি কিন্তু আমাকে স্টেরয়েড শুরু করলেন, এবং স্টেরয়েড এবং তার সঙ্গে ইমিউনোসাপ্রেসিভ যত রকমের ড্রাগ উনি আমাকে দিয়েছিলেন। এবং আনফর্চুনেট পার্ট হচ্ছে, উনি আমাকে বলেছিলেন যে আপনাকে আমার কাছে আর আসতে হবে না, আপনাকে আমি মেলে প্রেসক্রিপশন করবো। আমার প্রগনোসিস উনি দেখলেন না। এবারে কিন্তু আমি আস্তে আস্তে আমার ইউরিন কমে গেল, ফুলতে শুরু করলাম, ভীষণ শ্বাসকষ্ট শুরু হলো, বুকে জল টল জমে গেল। সাডেন আমি অ্যাম্বুলেন্সে করে এখানে এসে আইএলএসে ডক্টর প্রতিম সেনগুপ্ত, মানে আমার কাছে উনি হিজ এ গড, ওনার কাছে এসে পড়লাম। তখন আমার ক্রিয়েটিনিন 10.8, বাড়ি 10.8, 176 ইউরিয়া, ঠিক আছে, 500-র ওপর সুগার হয়ে গেছে তখন আমার, বিকজ দ্য স্টেরয়েড। তারপরে আমার নিশেষ এবং এরা সব কান্নাকাটি করছিল। উনি কিন্তু ডে 1 বলেছিলেন আমি এই কিডনি ফিরিয়ে দেবো, দ্যাটস হিজ কনফিডেন্স। তারপরে তো আমি 24-25টা ডায়ালিসিস নিয়েছি, এবং ডায়ালিসিস নেওয়ার পর আজকে আমি 7 দিন আগে টেস্ট করেছি, ক্রিয়েটিনিন 1.4, এবং
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আমি একদম ঠিক আছি। আমার সোডিয়াম পটাশিয়াম আমার প্রচণ্ড খারাপ হয়ে গেছিলো। আমি আমার জন্য প্যাম কাতুনি বটাদের আমাকেও প্রচণ্ড গালাগাল করেছি আমি, এবং সোডিয়াম পটাশিয়ামে যেটা হয় মানুষের উল্টোপাল্টা বলে, আমি অনেককে উল্টোপাল্টা বলেছি, হ্যাঁ। তো সেই জন্য আজকে সত্যি বলতেই উনি আমার কাছে ভগবান।
আমাদের এখানে এরকম অনেক মানুষ আছে যাদেরকে আমরা হয়তো সম্পূর্ণ সুস্থ করতে পারিনি, যারা ডায়ালিসিসে আছেন। এরকমই কিছু মানুষ আছেন যারা ডায়ালিসিসে আছেন, কিন্তু ডায়ালিসিসটাকে রোগ হিসাবেই নেন না। মাধবচন্দ্র মৈত্র তার একজন, এর আগের বার উনি এসেছিলেন আমাদের স্টেজে। হি প্লেস ফুটবল, আমার সঙ্গে কি বলে আর্ম রেসলিং আমাকে হারিয়ে দিয়েছিল একদিন। ইস এ ডায়ালিসিস পেশেন্ট, বিলিভ মি, ইউল বি সারপ্রাইজ যে রেগুলার এক্সারসাইজ করে উনি এত ভালো আছেন। আর্ম রেসলিং আমাকে হারিয়ে দিয়েছে, আমি যথেষ্ট মাস্কুলার ছেলে, কিন্তু আমাকে হারিয়ে দিয়েছে। মাঝে পারবেন না আপনি আমার সঙ্গে। সো দ্যাটস দ্য কনফিডেন্স। সো উই আর এক্সপ্লোরিং দ্য ডিফারেন্ট এরিয়া হাউ উই ওয়ার্ক. So this most important part is music. Believe me, I am a violin player. I professionally plays violin. Not professionally, amateurly plays violin. But I have been trained by the lot of professional violinists. Shishir Kana Dhar Chaudhary is my Guru Ma. Then obviously Pandit Kala Ramnath, I got training. Our brain and body respond to the sound. And there are a lot of interesting area I am telling to do. Say if you have a headache. So why this headache is there? Because there are some chemicals which is secreting, causing headache. You listen to good music, headache may go. You are feeling very low, emotions are down, depressed. You listen to certain good music, definitely mood becomes better. Otherwise you have to take some antidepressant medication. So they are doing something in our neural, but we have not researched it. But recently, a huge amount of research is going on, and I'm showing you some interesting finding which will be surprising. it is evidence now, a lot of evidence are coming that music ultimately helps for motivation, it reduces stress, it improves immunity, it improves cognitions. So it affects our all neurological functions. There are a lot of research which is doing, it has hemodynamic function too, and also it improves respiratory function. You'll be surprised to know there are significant seminal research which is showing that listening some specific quality of music improves the lung function. These are the interesting publication. I'm showing how it is correlated with the renal failure patients. In renal failure, as I said, it causes a tremendous amount of neurological abnormality. There are a lot of EEG has been done in the CKD patients, even the early stage, those who do not have the raised creatinine. Prior to the onset of the CKD, a lot of patients have some changes in their brain EEG. It has been structurally studied that the EEG change is one telltale sign, a pattern of EEG can predict that somebody can land in some chronic kidney disease. And there is an interesting paper published in the JASN analyzing a lot of patients. JASN is a Journal of American Society of Nephrology. Exactly why in CKD this type of brain changes happen. There are a lot of vascular hypotheses, neuroendocrine hypotheses, a lot of things has been done. An interesting study has been found. If you do a blood flow mapping of the brain of a CKD patient, you'll find their blood flow is not adequate. A number of areas, the normally blood is not going. So this is the area which really drove my interest to study what exactly happening. And there are a lot of study on the musician's brain. And if you see the two pictures in analogy, you will find that the area where the blood flow increases in musician's brain are the same area where the blood flow deteriorates in a patient with the CKD. That interacts my interest. So what I did, we studied a lot of paper, exactly what happens in the neurochemistry of the music. And this was found once in the brain at rest, and if the person is listening music, the blood flow in the brain increases by 20 to 30% in some of the areas by listening to the music. And this is one of the study done with the Andrews. Andrews is a famous guitarist, and it was found that when he was listening, a guitarist is listening a guitar, their temporal lobe, hippocampus, they are getting more blood in comparison to somebody who is not listening that. And this is a non-musician who is listening. There are not adequate blood flow. So possibly regular listening of music increases or vitalizes brain. We do not know. I'm telling you, my Guruma, Sisir Kanadhar Chaudhary, he is a quite elderly, so he had some issue. Doctor suggested to MRI of the brain. ইকোতে এমআরআই করালাম, মনোজদা শুনলে অবাক হয়ে যাবে। আমাকে এমআরআই করে বলছে যে লেফট হেমিস্ফিয়ার ইজ ডিসপ্রপোর্শনালি এনলার্জ, কোনো ব্রেন টিউমার নেই তো? বলছে নো 30 years she is playing violin, that could be the reason. So that's the thing. So it improves the circulation in the brain in certain area. So music in the CKD patient, there are huge amount of research that it reduces stress, it reduces anxiety disorder. আজকে আমাদের মধ্যে তমা বলে একজন উপস্থিত আছে, ও আমাদের গান শোনাবে। He is also a patient, but he is a very beautiful singer. Clarity and balance, relaxation, memory and concentration, sleep, and stronger immune system. And interesting work is going on a binaural bit. Binaural bit means 2 bits is given in the 2 ear. If you give 2 different tone in the 2 ear, it generates a separate connotation which ultimately leads, and that has been tried in a lot of ICUs in US. One person is playing flute, another person is playing guitar. So binaural bit, it helping to somebody recover earlier from the ventilator. We have learned a lot of studies. We have learned a lot of WhatsApp message. A guy, a young lady who was in the coma, the doctors given him Darwari Kanara. Darwari has a tremendous role in the brain plasticity and improving neurocognition. Music reduces blood pressure. It has been studied. There is near about 10 to 20 systolic in 60-minute listening of the music, and near about 8 to 10 diastolic blood pressure drop without any medication. It reduces the heart rate. So these are the beneficial point, and there are a lot of studies, a lot of CDs has been developed by which you can control your blood pressure. This is from where I am taking my violin lesson. Sisir Kanadhar Chaudhary, Sisir Kalaramnath, Maharaj is sitting here. This is one photograph in the Calcutta Club. She came here. She gave me some lesson at that time. We had a detailed interaction regarding, she told me, in Garak Kallan, This is one Indian classical raga. If anybody listens it, it's bound to reduce blood pressure. So we are not researching. This is very unfortunate. This is the area we should work. This is the Indian treasure. We have to work. We have to do something positive which can help. Beyond medicine, we can help some patients. So it was her statement.
Namaskar. Music is a form of art which has accompanied humankind since the origin of our species. Music, particularly Indian classical music and ragas, are not mere soothing sounds. Rather, they have a much deeper meaning and impact on life process. Ragas in Indian classical music are associated with definite mood and sentiments that nature arouses in human beings. When the ragas are played properly, it aligns with the emotional state of the individual, producing a psychological and physiological effect on the mind and body, generating happiness, peace, and tranquility. There are much deeper health benefits too. For example, Raga Gorak Kalyan is known to stabilize blood pressure. Darbari improves alertness and brain function. Much more efforts are needed in this area. I salute Dr. Pratim Sengupta and the researchers of Kidney Care Society in this regard and wish them the very best in the pursuit of their endeavor. Thank you.
They are the two ragas which has been definitely proven. Gorak Kalyan to reduce blood pressure. Darbari, it improves the brain function. At least those who are deeply comatose, if they come out from the coma, Darbari helps a lot. And research and evidence, there are a lot of research in the dialysis patients. It has been seen that the effect of music therapy and the overall well-being of the elderly patient on maintenance hemodialysis. If you give them a regular music lesson while they are on dialysis, they are doing better. Same thing has been observed in the child. If the child who are on dialysis, if you give them a music selection during the every dialysis session, they does better. Their pressure control is better. Cognitive behavior is better. So there is it is a one integral part we must incorporate. Another area is the sleep apnea syndrome. We all know the sleep apnea is bad for the heart, obviously, and the significant number of the CKD patient, they snore in the night. Naak dake, ওদের একটা sleep apnea হয়, hypoxia হয় ঘুমের সময়. They do not have a continued sleep in the night. And this lands in a lot of complication, progression of the proteinuria, progression of the CKD. And there was an interesting study. This is one very ancient Australian instrument. We call it degradiro. If anybody plays degradiro, the sleep apnea improves. Possibly it requires some flow, some pressure, which improves the muscles. Today, sleep apnea, we do not have any definitive treatment. We need to subject somebody for an operation or take a BiPAP in the night. But this is a research paper published in the BMJ, British Medical Journal, that playing degradiro improves sleep apnea significantly in a couple of patients, avoiding surgery, no requirement of any BiPAP in the night. Similarly, the American native flute had a tremendous role. It has been proven that it improves the memory and attention deficit in the CKD patients. I think I'll move to the optimization of the RRT in very fast because time is short. We have a very interesting yoga session after that. As Shobhrata is waiting, in a quick review, the three modalities of the renal replacement therapies are either transplant or hemodialysis vis-a-vis peritoneal dialysis. These three are the main modality by which we can do a dialysis. Professor Kolff, who is the father of dialysis, he said, if you are going to keep a patient alive by artificial means, we then incur the responsibility to see that it is a good life and it is enjoyable life. But what we exactly do in a dialysis patient's life is really very, very painful, very, very miserable. So we need to do something. So there are a lot of things that are going on. For example, wearable dialysis machine, it is coming. And it is already, I have been there in Germany in last year where they had a microdialysis mechanic conference. All over the world, a lot of scientists, engineers, they gave their idea how we can minimize the dialysis machine and cut down the bearing of the dialysis patient. So there was a wearable dialysis they have designed. A patient can wear it, he can dance, she can dance. There is a picture, and this it looks like a patient can go to the office, do everything, and dialysis has been going on. One step ahead is an artificial kidney which is a bit progressing in the terms of research. I hope another 3-4 years it will be reality. It will be reality. We can implant an artificial kidney to a person who requires renal replacement therapy. But before I ending, 1 or 2 slides, 50 to 70 trillion cells in your body, all develop from a single cell. So stem cell research might give us some hope. Yes, it is in infancy, I understand, but in Australian group, they have developed a kidney which works for 20 minutes in the human body. So hopefully another research, Professor Topgay, he did the research on this area. So we are close to uncoding the genomic imprint, how we can design a bio-artificial kidney and implant it inside the body. Last and not the least, it is core of my heart, that is artificial intelligence-based patient support system. So we are going to develop an app, as I said. This app is going to help all my patients to upload their report, to get feedback. There will be robotic chat communication system, which will filter whatever the queries which are necessary, which is not necessary for me, which is very simple. I get a call in the midnight, doctor, can I take Lasix 20 milligram, 2 tablets instead of 40? So why, if you do not have 40 milligram, 2 tablets of 20 can be taken or not? There are a lot of this type of questions. It may seem very simple or rubbish to me, but it is important to the patient. So we need to find a solution, because the patient who otherwise do not know or gaining confidence, he want to learn. So the bot system will help it. The bot will identify the query, filter it, whichever is necessary to resolve, it will resolve, which is not, it will filter to me or our team. Then the next important part is predicting medical analysis or medical diagnosis based on the database which we already have. As I said to the Partho a few months back, so it has a capacity to monitor and came to the decision. This is my team by which I am walking. Thank you very much for coming this program.